Hello, everybody. My name is Peter. I'm joining you here today to spend a little bit of time with you and this black rectangle, which is a scratchboard sort of thing. The idea is that there is something colorful or otherwise in some way wondrous beneath the paint here, and then you scratch away at it and create a wonderful design. The design is both wonderful because of the shapes you make and because of the material there underneath. I think there is a little chip missing here, so I think it's going to be glittery. There are different kinds you can get. Sometimes it's glittery, sometimes it's rainbowy, or something like that. And now, usually when I do these, I use like a little stick. They come with, when you buy them from the store, they comes like a little stick, like a very short, like a cross between a toothpick and a chopstick. But then on Instagram the other day, I noticed that some people were using glass pens, which seems like maybe the perfect tool for these. Let's try using a glass pen as, what do you call it, a scratcher? Oh, I think it works great. I think it's working really good. What do you guys think? It's very satisfying. First of all, the little sticks that it usually comes with, I think they're designed for children's hands, and they don't usually fit in my hands very well. Also, the line quality here is much better than a lot of the little the line quality of the little sticks that it usually comes with. Anyways, is everyone doing okay today? I am not doing too bad. Happy to be here with all of you, shooting the breeze, as it were. I'm imagining that you guys are chit-chatting with me right now. Right now, I'm imagining some of the comments, but I don't want to assume anything, so it feels a little bit one-sided right now, but that's okay. It's very fun to make weird little whoopsie-loopsie bits with these scratch boards. It's a very satisfying feeling. First of all, glass pens are very satisfying feeling in the first place, right? Just because it's like, I don't know, they just are. If you've never used a glass pen, you could try it sometime. They're like $12 on Amazon. This one I have is custom made by Fire Spider Glass on Instagram. Check them out. It costs a little bit more, but essentially it's the same thing. The ones you can get for cheaper. This one's just, got a little bit more TLC put into it, I suppose. Custom made, it's you pay extra, you get extra. Just the idea of custom made is nice. One of a kind. Kind of loopsing out here. Now, what I want to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and completely scratch out this center section right here. It is, in fact, very glittery under here. Very glittery indeed. And I'll try to strategically, I say strategically, but I don't actually want to think about it too much. I'm going to strategically think about other little sections to scratch out as well. Like maybe this little spot right here. I'll scratch this out. Excellent. Something weird has happened right here. I don't know if you can see it. There's other little chips missing already. That kind of bothers me a little bit. Also, the camera is having a hard time dealing with the contrast when I take my hands away. I think why these little chips are missing is there might have been like some little bit of dirt on the side of my hand that was like scraping away It's very fragile. It's a very fragile medium. Also, as you might have seen at the beginning of the video, I have some coffee here, which I'm going to take a sip of. Just a little sip. Maybe I might go in for a second sip if you'll allow me that luxury. I indulged myself a little bit with that one, I'll admit. But it's okay. Okay. And these little chips, I'm saying, are just fine. Don't get too bent out of shape. I want to do some slightly, gradually expanding lines here. If you're ever wondering how to keep your hands steady when you're drawing, sometimes if you just go like this and try to keep your hands steady, you'll get a little wobbly. I'm not too wobbly right now, but sometimes it depends on your posture of your hand. You'll get a little wobbly, but I think it's just because you're trying too hard, maybe. But once you actually get down to drawing the line and moving the pen across the paper, it gets a little better, I think. Once you make contact, it won't be so bad. Also, just go slowly. There's no rush. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the lines. I hear a train blowing its horn off in the distance. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Right now, it is about 3:30 a.m. where I am. What time is it there? And I'm liking how this is looking so far. Very approachable, comfy, but also a little bit squidgy because of the weird wobbly, it looks a little bit like it's a bit of mold or something, but flowery mold, which I'm a fan of. What's the fastest way to grow mold? If I just wanted to look at some mold. If I wanted to grow some of my own, just put some bread in a dark, damp place, do you think? If I wanted to, an amateur culture. Is that what they call it? Or is that? Is yogurt mold? Have you guys ever eaten Beano? You guys, who here knows about Beano? A show of hands. Beano is a type of pill you can take when you, it's not really like a medicine, but it's more like a supplement. It's a thing you take when you eat beans or things that give you gas, and it's supposed to give you less gas. And my mom used to give that to us, but I think it was mostly for my dad, but I wanted to take it too, especially when I found out that this stuff was, Beano is actually mold. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but because we're talking about mold. Sorry, not the best conversation. I'm kind of going to go up here a bit. I just want to go all the way to the top. I'm not going to go to the very edge. I like leaving like a little, I like imagining that there's like a little border around there that I never quite go all the way to. Little bits of the paint kind of build up on the tip there. There's probably lots of little paint crumbs here that I just can't see, but they're there. That's another advantage this glass pen has, is that the paint crumbs don't seem to cling to it quite as much. On the downside, when I used a wooden scraper, it seemed to make slightly more of an audible scrapey noise, which I enjoyed. I don't know if you guys like audio feedback when you draw, but I don't always dislike it. Sometimes it's nice, it feels like you're accomplishing things if it's, you're scraping and scratching away. You can hear it a little bit. Should just stop talking. Sometimes I don't really know what I'm going to do next, so I just kind of like, in a regular drawing, if I was drawing with like a regular ink pen, I would just be like coloring in this chunk black, but in this case I'm coloring it in glittery. I'm glittering it in. Just glitter it in. It's all nice and holographic. Some nice little parallel lines here. Those always feel nice on my eyes. I don't know about your eyes. My eyes tend to enjoy it. Some wobbles. Sometimes rivers go like this. Have you ever just scrolled around? One thing I really enjoy doing is scrolling around on Google Maps and just looking at different shapes on the face of the earth. Different textures. Zoom in and out different amounts. And there's a lot of inspiring things. Like if you go up north in the top of Canada or in the top of like Russia up in Siberia and stuff, I guess glaciers and stuff scraped across the earth there and left thousands and thousands of lakes. The earth is just completely pockmarked. It's the craziest texture. It looks like a different planet. It's very cool. That'd be cool. Maybe I should make a video sometime just looking at fun different little textures on the earth from a satellite's eye. So there's like a lot more chips coming off here, and I'm not sure. I think what might be happening, guys, is you see all these chips here? I think these might be coming off because of my fingernails, to be honest. TBH. I wish I had like a glove or something. But I don't know if I have a glove. This is the only glove I could find. Do you think this will work? My nice leather gauntlet. It kind of changes the vibe of things. I hope it's not too squeaky. You guys just let me know if the squeaking of my leather glove ruins the whole video. This leather glove seems ridiculously squeaky to me. Continuing to draw lines. Oof, that was a mistake. I just like blew on this a little bit and a ton of crumbs just went flying off into oblivion. And by oblivion, I mean the rest of my apartment. I mean, maybe this is this leather glove supplies. Maybe this is what I needed. These are the sound effects I was looking for. Maybe that's what I wanted this whole time, and I just didn't know it. I mean, I'm sure it'll drive someone absolutely crazy, and as soon as I put on the leather glove, someone just like it, and they heard that first leather squeak, someone just immediately closed the video out. There's people who, they're just like, I just can't stand the sound of leather squeaking. There's people who, it's okay. I'm not saying it's like bad. It's just like, there's always that one person who's like, I just can't stand the sound of mattresses. I just can't stand the sound of people chewing grapes. Chewing anything else is fine, but not grapes. Don't chew grapes near me. We can't be friends if you eat grapes. I just can't stand the sound. I don't know why, it's just something about grapes. But it's better, I guess, to do that than maybe to not say and then just sit there silently fuming while the person is sitting there macking on some grapes. And obviously, eat with your mouth closed. But even if they can hear it reverberating through the walls of your mouth, and maybe if you chew on stuff, do you think you hear most of the sound? If I eat something with my mouth closed, can other people hear that mostly out through my nose, do you think? What's your professional opinion? I trust you. Try to snug these lines right up in there. See, look, here's what you do. There's no mistakes. If you're doing these snug little lines, what I usually do is I snug them up. If I'm doing something like this, snug them up, keep them nice, crisp, and clean for as long as I can. And then if it looks like I'm about to make a mistake, like this one was getting a little bit too close, so I just boom, launched it out here like that. And it looks intentional. Like nobody else knows that I made a quote-unquote mistake because I just turned it into a deviation. I just ran with it. Turned it into something else, If there's no set goal, then there can't be any mistakes. Your only goal is to have fun drawing some lines, fitting lines together, see how they look, different combinations. That's my only goal most of the time. And it's kept me pretty well entertained for quite a while now, several years. So far, I have not found all the different combinations of lines. Maybe one day, but I doubt it. Sometimes I do feel like there are a few combinations of lines I'm maybe starting to exhaust or tire out a little bit. But really, I'm just beginning to get started. I'm at the beginning of tapping into the way lines can hang out together. Gonna throw these way down here. These ones are swooping down. I'm gonna swoop. Oops, I didn't mean to scratch that down there. See, that's okay though. I flew too close to the sun. I'm gonna scratch this in. My hand gets a little bit more tired when I use the leather glove for some reason. I think maybe because I'm squeezing harder. I'm not sure. Not sure at all. Probably just not. Maybe I'm squeezing harder because the leather doesn't seem that slippery, but it's just something new and different. My muscles don't know what to think. My muscles are very, very used to just holding a pen in the regular manner, whatever the regular manner is. Just holding a pen, Just mix it. If I mix it up at all, even a little bit, I experience fatigue quicker than normal. I'm going to shake this off. Okay. A lot of it didn't really. I wonder if it's dangerous doing this. There's a lot of crumbs on there, clouding my vision, impairing my judgment of the current state of the drawing. the state of the art. So you guys been drawing stuff lately? Working on any creative endeavors? If you haven't, some people say they haven't drawn anything in 20 years. Or maybe they've never drawn anything. If you've never drawn anything in infinite years, it's not too late to start again. Get a pencil, get a pen, any old thing, and get a piece of paper and draw a line and then draw another line. Then you're good to go. Then you've done something, okay? Don't even put any importance on that first drawing. Just get that first one out of the way. The first one in 20 years, the first one in a week, the first one today. Get it out of the way, and then you can move on to the next one. No sense in getting stressed out about art. Sorry for my squeaky glove. I'd like to issue a formal apology on behalf of my glove, who has not the mental facilities to do so. Not sure which of those words I'm supposed to use. I think it's faculty. But faculty is like the people who work at a college. That's what I think of. And then if you say facilities, I think of bathrooms for some reason. Has anyone ever met someone who referred to the bathroom as the facilities? They're like, hello, where's the facilities? To me, facilities means like the water and electric in Monopoly. Those were called facilities. But then again, I guess bathrooms they do have both of those usually. At least here, thankfully. Not everywhere. Count your blessings. I'm going to sprout off this way to this corner. It helps to just sprout off if you get bogged down in the detail one spot. You can sprout off, okay? Sprout. Cover some ground. It's easy to come back and fill things in. I have a little bit of facial hair right now. I don't remember when the last time I shaved was, but right now it's at the perfect length where it's very satisfying to run my fingers across. It just feels good, that's all. I don't do full shaves. I just use like a trimmer. I don't know what it's called. I don't do a close shave though, because then I get like ingrown hairs and acne and stuff, but this way I don't seem to get any acne. Plus, I don't work somewhere where they require me to have like a real shave, thankfully. But maybe sometimes it just helps to I don't work somewhere that requires me to take showers either, but I still do those things. Sometimes it just helps to go through the motions. To feel like a together person. To feel like a person who has their stuff figured out. I don't know what's going on here. Not sure I like it, but we'll pull it together. This side over here is suspiciously empty still. It's okay. We'll come back to it. So there's a lot of potential over there. What could happen? You can work on one part of the drawing while you daydream and plan in your mind for another part of the drawing. Your brain is an amazing thing. It can do a lot of crazy things. Draw in one place, think about drawing in another place. All sorts of things all at the same time. They say that the human brain is located inside the skull, which I find fascinating. Not sure how they know that, but I'll take their word for it. They must have looked inside someone's skull at some point, which seems a little bit grim to me. Some more lines. Pretty much just going to do these parallel until I mess up, and then I'll sprout off and change it. That's how it goes a lot of the time. Kind of continue these down here, bring them up from the bottom with my kind of invisible border down there, kind of inferred or implied or whatever word you want to use. This glove kind of sounds like an old creaky ship to me for some reason. I really have no idea how loud it'll be in the final video, but it's okay. Fill in this with some circles. There's recurring themes, like this, like lines on one side, little circles going up the middle, little patterns you figure out one time that you like, and then you keep working them back into other drawings and seeing different ways they can work or not work. And you're like, oh, that doesn't look so good in this one. Like it looked good in the other one, but not this one. So you just keep learning and so on and so forth, etc., etc., etc. It does kind of bother me sometimes when people say etc. I feel like a lot of people say etc. when it's clearly spelled etc. Or is my Latin just a little rusty? It's just one of those things. Been nitpicky. It's okay. You can say etc. and I'll still be your friend, probably. We'll see. I'll do it on a case-by-case basis. Kind of weird wobbly bits here. Sometimes a bunch of the paint crud gets caught up in the tip of this and Makes the lines get real fat. There. Oh, I feel like last time I did this I had like a paintbrush, like a little brush I was using to wipe these crumbs off, which worked a lot better. I haven't learned from my past mistakes, and here I am, doomed to repeat them again. Classic person. Alright, I can come back to this area of the drawing a little bit more later, but I'm going to hop on over here. I'm going to continue with this kind of bubbly shape, I think. Just draw some circles, which we can work into things later. It's okay if your circles aren't perfect. In fact, it might be better if they aren't. Don't even try to draw perfect circles. Just set yourself up for disappointment. Just go at it, draw things, and every now and then you might draw something which looks suspiciously like a perfect circle, and you can just tell yourself it actually is a perfect circle. Just go with it. A little pleasant surprise. I'm going to draw this bubbling up, kind of a cloud shape. Bubbling up from the bottom here. I did make a tutorial once on how to draw clouds, but you can adapt that cloud stuff to, there are a lot of things in the world that look kind of like clouds, Piles of suds look kind of like clouds. Smoke looks like clouds. That's probably about it. So maybe not a lot of things. A few longer swooping lines amidst some of the other. Sometimes I draw a long line like this, I leave a little gap in it, so that I can come back later and make something cross over it, and that way it'll look, a little bit more, I don't know about 3D, but just a little bit more layered. What about cakes? Cakes have layers. Everybody likes cakes. I think this leather glove, as weird as it is, I think it actually is working to reduce the amount of scritchy scratches, unintentional ones. So that's good. That's real good. Not that those were the end of the world, but they certainly weren't the beginning of it. Maybe they were, actually. Do you think that's how the world began? Or what happened before the world began? Accidental fingernails. swoop along. I like it. I think I need to block out some more sections. But that's the easiest thing. You can come back and do that later. Scribble things away, you know. You can't unscribble things away. There's certainly no erasing. Actually, there might be erasing in this medium. You could come back in with a marker and color things over, you know. But I don't want to. I'm not going to. It just ain't my style to go back and erase and undo things. You got to learn, you know, learning to go with it and adjust and adapt and overcome is, I think, a good skill to have. Or just accept the way it is and love it for what it is. Everyone else will probably like it, so you can too. I'm not saying settle, but, you know, next time try again. If it's the last drawing of your life, then maybe I'll accept that you can, you know, be a little bit more attached to a particular vision. But other than that, just chill out a little bit. I draw lines all the time that I regret a little bit, or I could regret if I wanted to. Like, ugh, it looked a little bit better before that line, or maybe I should have drawn that line a little bit over here or a little bit over there. But it's just better not to. Just move on. You have better things to worry about, or to not worry about, like what line to draw next, and instead of thinking about the lines you just drew. I do need to draw something kind of swooping over this. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not completely sure yet what I want it to be. It's okay to have a good sit back, take a sip. Have a at your drawing. I want a little bit more of this here. I'm just going to go ahead and color this in all the way. Scratchy, scratchy. Very satisfying. Easy to miss a spot because of the crumbs getting in the way. There we go. That's the good stuff right there. All right, I'm going to swoop this up. Oop. Up and around, roundabout. A little bit unsteady there, but it's okay. We'll work with it. Sometimes as I draw lines like that one, I can just barely see the paint off the card like curling up in a tiny little corkscrew on the tip of the pen. Well, kind of like that. The weird thing about these lines right here is that it doesn't seem like they really meet up as far as the curves, which bothers me a little bit. It's okay. As long as you don't look, some of those little mistakes you don't, other people won't really notice them because they're not the ones that made them. You're sitting there, you make what you perceive as a mistake, and it's like staring you there in your face because you're the one that sat there and did it. Everyone else, they look at the drawing later and they just see all of it at once and they just take it. It's like the difference between watching a bucket being filled drop by drop and getting hit in the face with a bucket of water. Okay. I mean, I'm okay with leaving this area of the drawing over here a little bit more sparse. I think that'll be good contrast. But it'll be difficult for me to stop drawing over here too much. I mean, I want to have a few little swirly bits, but I shouldn't do too much. I feel like the more I lay off, the better it might look. I should stop, Peter. Take it easy. I mean, I could keep going forever, but I shouldn't, because I really think it will look better if I don't completely fill in that side of the paper. What are you guys thinking? Yes, no, maybe so. You guys aren't saying anything. I can't hear you at all. It's like I'm talking to a brick wall. I was thinking about trying to do some sort of doodle, some sort of class at the local museum or somewhere, like how to doodle or how to channel your creative side or how to just like how to make something, how to create anything. I just want to get people together, anyone who just wants to start drawing, doodling, creating things, very open-ended sort of thing, and just get them together. Everyone, you can bring your own supplies, whatever you want, big piece of paper, little piece of paper, and just hang out and encourage people who feel stuck, or not, anyone, but if they feel stuck, just encourage them to draw, encourage them to whatever. A lot of people have a lot of doubts about their art. I just want them to start. I just want them to go. I just want them to begin and make things. And I feel like if people just start and make things and stop worrying about it, they'll kind of blow themselves out of the water. That's kind of how I feel sometimes. Plus, it's just fun to hang out and draw. I think you just gotta leave it at some point, I think it's about done. What do you guys think? Just gonna leave it right there. There's the pen. Let me brush all the boogers off of there. Once again, thank you all for joining me here today. Sorry that my glove was so squeaky. I'll try to I bought a bulk pack of nice cloth, like cotton gloves at one point, but I used half of them, lost the other half of them. So I don't know what happened. I'll just get more, I guess. Here you go. And thanks for hanging out, everybody. It's been great. Go make something, anything. And have a good one. All right, bye, everybody.